Liam swiped the dishes off the table, flipped the chair, and threw an empty vase at the wall.
Where is she?
He's on his way!
Are you deaf? She! You stupid bitch! Where the fuck is Cassady?
I don't know.
Liam marched towards Kinsley and pinned her against the wall by her throat.
Yeah! You're hurting me!
Kinsley dug her nails into Liam's hand, causing him to slap her across the face, sending her flat on her ass.
Do more than hurt you, you fucking whore.
Keep your voice down. Please. Try to be calm.
Liam clenched his fists, fighting the urge to drive them down into Kinsley's head.
You want me to be calm when people are running around, killing each other? Where the fuck is my daughter, you fucking cunt?
Liam slammed his fist into the side of her head.
You better tell me right fucking now.
Liam crouched down, picked a knife up off the floor, grabbed Kinsley by the hair.
Are you going sick on me?
John had messed up big time. Having never been good with directions, his trip to Pennsylvania had been thrown off, and he was now passing through Minnesota.
I just wanted to update you on where I'm at. Shouldn't be more than a day. See you then.
John slid his phone into his shirt pocket and noticed Rachel was awake.
Who's Kins? She your kid?
Family. I never had kids.
So, we gotta go back through Wisconsin, huh?
Yeah, we have to. But I stopped and grabbed this.
John grabbed a map off the dashboard and handed it to her.
I was thinking if you give me directions to my place, I could take you to yours.
Do we have to?
What? Give me directions? No, you don't have to, but I'd appreciate it. I can make it back to Illinois, but from here, I'll need your help.
Did you have a hard time finding this?
Nope. Just went in, paid for it, and got out. Easy peasy.
Last night.
And remember, shop smart, shop smart.
John pushed open the door of the dimly lit gas station and slowly forced himself inside.
Hello? Anybody working?
As he scanned the store, he spotted a shadow being cast by a flickering light down the hall.
Oh hey! Excuse me?
John walked up to the counter and looked down the hallway.
I know you're probably closed, but could I get a map? I got lost.
The figure began shambling up the hall.
My sister-in-law called me up and begged me to go to Pittsburg, and somehow, don't ask me how, I ended up here.
The figure came into view, making John's heart stop. The stench of rotting flesh and feces filled John's lungs.
Are you one of them sick people?
The man stumbled around the counter and swung his one arm at John.
If you're not sick, you better say something.
John put his hand in his revolver as the man took another swing at him.
Damn it, stop!
John pulled out his revolver and swung it into the man's stomach.
I didn't want to do that.
The man grabbed John with his ice-cold hand, attempting to sink his teeth into his face.
Back off!
John kneed the man in the stomach and shoved him to the floor.
I'm sorry.
He swiped a map off the counter and dropped a handful of change.
For the record, I'm not stealing. There's 8 something there that's more than enough.
John darted out of the store and jumped back into his truck. Back in Pennsylvania, Liam and Kinsley were fighting over the tragic events that took place the night before. But as usual, it was less of a fight and more of an attack.
Can I please call him back?
You wanna call him back?
Yes.
Fuck John! I'm so fucking done with this John shit!
Liam backed her against a wall and wrapped his hands around her throat.
Our daughter. No, my daughter is dying upstairs after Bill took a fucking chunk out of her leg. And you're worried about calling John back.
Liam tightened his grip and slowly lifted her off the floor.
You're no kind of mother.
He held her in the air for a moment before dropping her to the floor. Kinsley grabbed her neck and caught her breath.
You never even caught the sickness yet, and you've always been a sick son of a bitch!
My kid is fucking dying!
Liam grabbed a glass ashtray off the coffee table and whipped it at her head, busting her forehead wide open.
I'm going upstairs to say goodbye, and if I catch you anywhere near them stairs while I'm up there, I'll beat the living hell out of you. Is that clear?
Yes!
Liam marched up to the steps and gulped as his eyes slowly scanned up, looking to the top of the staircase. It was hard going up those stairs. It was only 13 steps, but it was the hardest 13 steps Liam had ever taken. It would be the last time he would ever see his daughter again, and with every step he climbed, he felt his heart pound faster and his stomach sink deeper.
Don't pussy out.
What took less than a minute felt well over an hour before he finally managed to force himself to the top. Staring down the hall at Cassady's door, Liam's breathing got heavier. The door looked like a mess, like a child painted it. And in fact, one did. Cassady painted the door, and in the middle, right below her name and around drawings of dinosaurs, were her and her parents' handprints. Liam made his way to her room, every step sending thoughts of leaving and suicide through his head.
You can't leave her like this.
Liam slowly pushed the door open, hoping she would be asleep to make things easier.
Dad?
Cassady's eyes looked as though a thick, foggy slime were poured over them, and turning her head to the sound of the squeaky door hinges, Cassady let out another cry.
Everything hurts.
Liam put on a fake smile and wiped a tear from his eye.
Hey, little lady.
Can we go to the hospital?
Don't worry. I'll make it stop, Cassie.
His hand shivered as he pulled his black Glock from the back of his pants.
But before we stop it, I want you to remember that everything in this world happens for a reason. That bite mark, that's a tag. God and Jesus don't want you to grow up in a world full of demons, so they tagged you. It means you're going to heaven.
Why did they make it hurt so much?
Because they wanted to make sure you're strong. And you are. They wanted to see how strong you are. And now they want you to join them in heaven. Soon we'll be walking on the clouds with Mommy's mommy.
Cassady raised her small, weak arm to her face and rubbed the snot from her lip.
I love you, little lady. God forgive me.
The next morning, John and Rachel made their way into Pittsburg, Pennsylvania, and were headed for Kinsley's home. As they entered the city, Rachel did her best to read the sign.
Welcome to Pittsburg? Is the H silent or something?
Yeah,
So, this is the place your family lives.
just my brother's family.
Are you happy about seeing them?
Well, maybe a little. But I don't plan on sticking around for long.
That's good.
Why's that?
Well, obviously, the sick people got all these people too. Do you see any cars driving around besides your truck?
You're 10, right? Shit, for such a little kid, you sure are down, aren't you?
I'm just being real.
You're just being real.
Yeah, because you obviously never seen or did any of the stuff I did.
Obviously.
As they continued down the long, empty road, John glanced over at Rachel.
Do you like anything? Books? Toys? Something I can get you to distract you from all this?
Can you distract anyone from this?
Rachel looked out her window to see a blood-soaked infected clawing at a car window.
I like talking, I guess. Talking is how you learn stuff. Did you know most penguins can swim 15 miles an hour?
Nah.
Well, they can.
Here, go nuts.
Ooh, music!
As Rachel sifted through the bin, John reached into the glove compartment and pulled out a cassette tape.
This one's pretty good. Bought a friend a motorcycle once. She gave me this. I call it a fair trade.
Rachel's face twisted as though someone had let out gas.
You like this stuff?
Yes.
Well, I don't.
She ejected the tape and tossed it on the dashboard before digging through the bin again.
Hey, ain't your daddy ever taught you not to bother stuff that don't belong to you?
You just said go nuts.
I know what I said, just hurry up and pick something.
You have a lot of old people in here, huh? Michael Jackson, the Beach Boys, Queen. The only thing I know about them is that they're really old.
As Rachel browsed the bin, she pulled out a tape.
Hey, Phil Collins!
You don't know who Michael Jackson is, but you know Phil Collins?
Yeah, my mom really liked this guy. Like a lot. She said she met him once and they almost went out.
Rachel put the tape in and pressed play.
Really? This over Africa?
Yeah? Well, this isn't really my thing either, but at least it beats your hippie drums.
I'd say to beat those hippie drums.
Roughly 20 minutes later, they arrived at Kinsley and Liam's. It was a small, two-story building with a garage attached to it. The faded blue siding was damaged from the sun, and overgrown shrubs blocked the view from the road.
Ugly house.
There's something we can both agree on.
John parked in front of the garage, and the two got out.
Behaving here. Liam's a dick, and Kinsley's got her own problems. So it's best if you stay quiet and to yourself. We'll both get what we want soon enough.
John tried the door.
Anyone home?
He knocked a few times before pulling out his key ring and searched for the one to Liam's.
Hello? Hello?
Can you keep it down?
Yeah, just trying to find the key.
So, we're actually going to Florida after this.
That's the plan.
Have you ever been there before?
Not planned on it once.
Why didn't you?
Stuff happened. Alright, going in.
Inside the house, Kinsley sat against the fireplace. A thin trickle of crusted blood ran from her forehead to her chin. She was covered in bruises and wielded a fire poker in her shaky hands.
John?
Kins?
He closed the door behind them and approached Kinsley.
Hey, what happened?
Your brother. And Cassie. And your brother again. It's just been so stressful and sad, and I don't know what the hell to do.
Here, get up.
John reached out and helped Kinsley up to her feet.
Where's Cass and Liam?
They got bit.
John was consumed with worry, though didn't know enough about the virus to fully comprehend the severity of the situation.
What bit who? What happened?
Cassady! She was helping Liam in the goddamn barbecue and got hit by one of them sick bastards.
Kinsley wiped the tears from her cold, glassy eyes.
Where's she now?
Where do you think? Liam shot her in the left. But enough about me, us, whatever.
She wrapped her arms around his waist and pulled herself close.
I need this right now. I need to be calm and forget, even if it's just for a second.
Is now really the time? I know how you're feeling, but I can't. I just found out whatever the hell this is, and...
John, please help me unwind.
Listen, MacDonald.
If you don't do this one goddamn thing for me, John, I swear to God I'll take myself out just like that animal did to my daughter.
John glared at Kinsley and slowly shifted his eyes to Rachel, who was flipping through a magazine by the door.
We're gonna be a minute. Just stay inside, okay? Don't leave the house.
Kinsley grabbed John's hand and walked him towards the kitchen.
It's been a while.
To occupy herself, Rachel thought it would be fun to explore. Heading upstairs, she began looking through Liam and Kinsley's room.
So, this is your brother.
The photo depicted Liam and John, both shirtless on a boat, holding up a fish the length of a grown man. The back of the photo said this was the beast of the Wabash River. The 90-pound flathead catfish took them 3 weeks to catch in the summer of '89.
You're kinda handsome.
Putting the photo back, she noticed a folded up piece of paper with writing on it, sitting atop a Bible. If someone wrote it, then they want it to be read, or so that was her excuse for snooping. Swiping the letter off the Bible, she opened it up and took a look. Dear family, I had to stop Cassady's suffering. She got bit, and I couldn't stand around here watching this thing take its course on her. I feel like shit, but I shot her. I wanted to stop the pain, and I blame myself for letting this happen. Her door is shut. Don't go in there. I wanted to bury her, but I just couldn't. If I haven't killed myself already, I'll be going to the safe zone in New Hampshire, Columbia, I think it's called. I need to leave now. Just being in this house is starting to drive me crazy. Liam. She flipped the note and continued reading. And little brother, if you're here and you're reading this, I hope you die and come back as one of them. You blame me over a fucking accident. I know I'm not the best brother, but you're downright rotten for putting that shit on me. I'll never forgive you for that or what you've done to me.
Jesus.
Thinking it was best, John didn't read it. Rachel ripped up the note and shoved it under the dresser. After snooping in every nook and cranny in the master bedroom, she walked out into the hallway and spotted the messy white door with the name Cassady painted on it in bright yellow. Letting her innocent childhood curiosity get the better of her, she walked up to the door and twisted the doorknob. Pushing it open, she froze. The baby blue walls, decorated in paintings of monkeys and rocket ships, were now covered in blood, and on the bed was Cassady. She had a hole the size of a baseball blown into her face, an eye hung out by a thread of tendon, and her nose was completely destroyed. Rachel tensed up. She didn't know how to react, and after a solid minute of staring at the body, she let out a loud, ear-piercing scream, crying so hard she fell to the floor.
Hey!
John burst from the bathroom in nothing but his jeans and bolted up the staircase to find Rachel, crying uncontrollably in the hallway. He ran to her and helped her up to her feet.
What happened?
Unable to speak, she pointed her shivering finger behind John and into Cassady's room.
Something happening there?
As John began to turn his head, Rachel grabbed him, stopping him. She was more frightened than she'd ever been before, but she was still able to spare him from seeing his niece's brains splattered across the wall.
There's a girl in there.
She wrapped her arms around him.
Rachel?
She cried her heart out as she clung onto him. Her nails sunk into his back as he turned his head, catching a glimpse of blood. That was enough for him, and so he picked up Rachel and headed downstairs. Getting back into the living room, John saw Kinsley sitting on the couch with her face in her hands.
What the hell is the matter with you?
I didn't know for sure.
Nah, you didn't know, did you? You were just too worried about messing around to give us a heads up that there's a body upstairs.
I didn't know!
Rachel bawled her eyes out, her snot smearing on his neck as she hid her face.
Can we leave?
Yeah, come on. I gotta grab my shirt and then we'll go.
After John went to the bathroom and got dressed and cleaned up, he saw Kinsley staring at them from the couch.
Can I come with you?
Yeah, you can. But you want to make sure that you're in that truck. Because once I'm gone, I'm gone. I ain't waiting on you. Not to that shit.
You can run on for a long time. Run on for a long time. Run on for a long time. Sooner or later, God'll cut you down. Sooner or later, He'll cut you down. Go tell that long-tongued liar. Go and tell that midnight rider. Tell the rambler, the gambler, the backbiter. Tell him that God's gonna cut him down. Tell him that God's gonna cut him down. Well, my goodness gracious, let me give you the news. My head's been wet with the midnight dew. I've been down on bended knee, talking to the man from Galilee. He spoke to me in a voice so sweet, I thought I heard the shuffle of the angel's feet. He called my name and my heart stood still when he said, Johnny, go and do my will. Go tell that long-tongued liar. Go and tell that midnight rider. Tell the rambler, the gambler, the backbiter. Tell him that God's gonna cut him down. Tell him that God's gonna cut him down. Well, you can throw your rock and hide your man, working in the dark against a fellow man. But it sure is got made black and white. What's done in the dark will be brought to the light. You can run on for a long time. Run on for a long time. Run on for a long time. Sooner or later, gotta cut you down. You can run on for a long time. Run on for a long time. Run on for a long
gotta cut you down. Go tell that long-tongued liar, go tell that midnight rider, tell the rambler, the gambler, the backbiter, tell them that God's gonna cut them down. You can run on for a long time, run on for a long time, run on for a long time. Sooner or later, gotta cut you down. Sooner or later, gotta cut you down. Yeah.